Hi, so this video is for the class 10 students and parents who are thinking to choose their next career, because class 10th, as you all know, is a very big step in the Indian education system, as we need to take first major decision, which is should we go for science with biology, science without biology, commerce with maths, commerce without maths, or humanities. And what has been the trend so far in the past, and sadly it still exists, that most of the parents think 90% and above should be sciences, 80 to 90 commerce, below 80 till 70 commerce or humanities, and below 70 definitely humanities. Guys, you have to understand that class 10th now is very basic on the one side. The things have considerably changed, and I'm talking to the parents that the syllabus since we studied class 10th and now has actually reduced by half. CBSE marking is very lenient. So if somebody is getting 60 to 70% marks, the guy hasn't studied at all. Or should I say, most of the people who are watching this video will have their kids scoring more than 75 to 80% marks. So class 10th percentage have really become very irrelevant in choosing your next stream. You cannot judge the intelligence of a student, because if a student just studies with right coaching and focus and maybe tuitions, 85 to 90% marks are guaranteed. But that means, should he take sciences? Does he have in him to become a doctor or a top class engineer in future? And maybe he can, but maybe he likes to be a lawyer. Maybe he likes to be a MBA, a business professional. Maybe he likes to be a fashion designer. Maybe he likes to be a footwear designer, a furniture designer, a fashion designer, many other things. And maybe the kid just want to join Indian Armed Forces. The guy is very clear to clear UPSC and become an IAS officer. And if that is the case, I really don't understand what harms does it take to take a simple psychometric test. The cost of a good developed psychometric test in India is not more than 2,000 rupees. We have spent more than lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh rupees so far. We spend about 1.5 lakh rupees every year on child education, average. Few parents are spending much more, few parents might be spending 50,000. We are talking about public school students. And now once again, when you go to class 11th, you are going to do the same. So man, to spend 50,000 a year, and then eventually for a PG you might spend 10 to 20 lakh rupees. So that is one thing which I get surprised. So don't go by the marks only. Don't go by what your school teacher says, because class 10th is very basic. Anybody and everybody can have an interest in science or may not, depending upon the home atmosphere. So the subjects are social science, Hindi, English, math, science. And you haven't never studied accounting in your life. Students, they have never studied business studies. They have never studied actual economics. They have never studied psychology. So there are many subjects which they have never studied. So how we can be very assured that the guy has aptitude of psychology or aptitude of accounting? Then of course you have studied sciences. But anybody who scored 95% marks in class 10 science and thinks that because he has scored 95% marks, they should take a non-medical, I think you are on a big shock. Because जो class 11th की physics and chemistry है, the level of that too is like 3 times or 5 times tougher than class 10 sciences. But there is no comparison. Class 10 science is very basic. Everybody can score 80, 85, 90 marks. Whereas class 11th physics chemistry becomes really a science subject. So I have seen hundreds of students, 95 marks in class 10 science. In class 11th you struggle to score even 60 marks in physics or chemistry. And that is why the class 10th marks are not the only criteria. Try to go for a psychometric test, figure out the child inherent interest, and then choose your next stream for class 11th. That's my humble appeal to all the parents. Don't be that miser. 1000-2000 रुपये खर्च कर लीजिए, पूरे बच्चे की ज़िंदगी का सवाल है. फ्यूचर में आप उसकी पढ़ाई पे, शादी में लाखों रुपए खर्च करने वाले हो. This 2000 rupees is nothing, right? Have a nice day.